But we're going to talk about his character first. Before we go, we're going to talk about the character, and I'm going to answer your points. Because you kept on about his character, and you want to keep going to the hadith. Well, that's good, because now the hadith is going to prove very damaging for the character of your prophet. Chapter 4 of the Quran, Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 24. Because you said his character. What I'm going to show you from the Quran and the hadith that you keep appealing to, his character was very terrible. In chapter 4, verse 24, it says, also prohibited women already married, except those whom your right hands possess. So you cannot have sex with a married woman except those whom your right hands possess. Now again, it's a long verse, but that's the one I want to focus on, because I'm going to give you the hadith, because you keep going to the hadith. Let's see if you're going to like the hadith. Sunan Abu Dawud, number 2150. Why was this ayah sent down? It says, married women are unlawful for you except those whom your right hands possess. Let's see. Sunan Abu Dawud, number 2150. Abu Sayyid al-Khudri said, the Apostle of Allah sent a military expedition to Autas on the occasion of the Battle of Hunain. They met their enemy and fought with them. They defeated them and took them captives. Some of the companions of the Apostle of Allah were reluctant to have intercourse with the female captives in the presence of their husbands who were unbelievers. So Allah, the Exalted, sent down the Quranic verse, and all married women are forbidden unto you, save those whom your right hands possess. You keep saying Muhammad's character, and he never drank. Okay, here is an ayah that your prophet said Allah gave to him, the illiterate prophet, because you said he's illiterate, so you recited it. No, don't worry. Those women you took captive, their husbands are alive, don't worry about it. Even though they're married, even though this is adultery and it's rape, Allah said you can go ahead and have sex with them. It doesn't matter if their husband's alive. Are you telling me, alhamdulillah, I want you to answer this question, because there's a lot of...
Which verse?
Chapter 4, verse 24. Surah An-Nisa, 424. And I just gave you the hadith, because you keep going to the hadith. Please don't tell me the hadith is da'if. It's not. Okay, so now are you telling me in front of everyone, this is what I want everyone, because there are a lot of non-Muslims here, and if you read their comments, look, they're saying disgusting. You're telling me a married woman who's been taken captive by Muslims who attack a city is going to say, oh yes, have sex with me even though my husband's alive? This is what we call adultery and rape, and you're okay with this? Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 24. And I gave you that because you kept going hadith. Now you can't reject the hadith. No, it's not da'if. It's sound. Sunan Abu Dawud 2150. This is why this verse was given. So your God gave your prophet permission. These women you've taken captive, they're married. It's okay. You can rape them, have sex with them, sell them. Who cares they're married? That's adultery and rape. And this is the example you want us to follow?
Sunan Abu Dawud, which verse?
Sunan Abu Dawud, number 2150. You want me to give you the link? Hold on, let me get you the link. Hold on.
Grade is Sahih. And so notice, I just want everyone to be clear on the flow of events here. We have a prophecy in the Quran, and the prophecy isn't very clear. And our Muslim friends tell us, well, we have to go to other sources. Well, great. If we can go to other sources, then when we have a verse like Surah 4, verse 24 of the Quran, saying who's allowed and who's forbidden as a sexual partner, then obviously we can go to the historical background to see what this is about. So Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, we got it here on the screen, said, the Apostle of Allah sent a military expedition to Autas on the occasion of the Battle of Hunain. They met their enemy and fought with them. They defeated them and took them captives. Some of the companions of the Apostle of Allah were reluctant to have relations with the female captives because of their pagan husbands. So Allah the Exalted sent down the Quranic verse, and all married women are forbidden unto you, save those captives whom your right hand possess. That is to say, they are lawful for them when they complete their waiting period. So just so everyone knows, the historical background here is the Quran had already revealed that Muslims are allowed to have sex with their female captives. But in other situations, there were times when the men had been killed, and so all that were left were the women. And so the question was, what about what do you do with the women here? Well, it's not adultery because the women's husbands have been killed in battle. But this time they captured the men and the women, the husbands with their wives. And so Muslim men were worried, hey, is it okay for me to have sex with these women when they're married? Isn't that adultery, Muhammad? And then Allah reveals, no, that's true. Notice the verse, ladies and gentlemen. All married women are forbidden unto you, except the captives whom your right hands possess. So, true, you're not allowed to have sex with married women unless you've captured them, which you just have with these women who are still married to their pagan husbands. So, Abdullah, what do you think about this?
Yeah, what I want to say about this is obviously I can't refute a law. I was just going through the Islamic views, and I can only do one thing, and that is to confirm that. But even though it was allowed, we have multiple examples that the Prophet said that freeing a slave on multiple occasions, he said that freeing a slave would be um, the one of the best of deeds to do, and that would earn you a lot of reward.
But when he wasn't busy being scooped onto a slice of apple pie, he was setting an example for his followers by keeping a tight rein on all his black slaves. Sahih al-Bukhari 72:63. Narrated Umar, I went to the house of the Prophet, and behold, Allah's messenger was staying in a mashraba, and a black slave of Allah's messenger was at the top of its stairs. I said to him, tell the Prophet that here is Umar bin al-Khattab. Then he admitted me. Sahih al-Bukhari 61:61. Narrated Anas bin Malik, Allah's messenger was on a journey, and he had a black slave called Anjasha, and he was driving the camels very fast, and there were women riding on those camels. Allah's messenger said, Waihaka, O Anjasha, drive slowly the camels with the glass vessels, i.e. the women. In Provisions of the Afterlife, pages 30 to 31, Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah lists 28 of Muhammad's male slaves and 12 of his female slaves. Some of these slaves were black, some were not. Muhammad renamed one of his black slaves Safina, which means ship. He called his slave Ship because he would load up the slave like a ship and make him carry everything. Muhammad apparently thought that black slaves were worth less than Arab slaves, since he once traded 2 of his black slaves for an Arab slave he wanted to set free because the Arab slave had converted to Islam. We know that Muhammad had sex with his female slaves because he eventually got one of them pregnant. But don't worry, a white leader getting a slave girl pregnant is only creepy when Thomas Jefferson does it.
But this was because at that time, even though it wasn't like it was suddenly allowed by Prophet Muhammad, you can see a lot of wars in which this does happen, and so therefore I'm not going to say that it's not allowed in the Sharia. There are, like you said, there are multiple hadiths, and there must be a reason. And when at the start I did say that I'm not a scholar.
No, actually, no. My Bible does not allow anyone to take a married woman and rape her. Do you want me to answer you? Deuteronomy 21:10-14 shows your Quran pales in comparison, because in Deuteronomy 21:10-14, a revelation given 2,200 years before Muhammad, it says, when you are fighting and there's a captive woman, you are to marry her. You don't take her and rape her and then sell her off. You give her the status of a wife, and if you divorce her, you let her go. You cannot sell her. This command was given 2,200 years before your Quran, showing this command is much more morally superior to your Quran.